Hello, JoJo stands and jackalopes. My name is TV Skyn, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where I've found a suitably ridiculous place to start the episode as we are working our way through the Coils of Bahamut. Basically, is what I believe we're doing. And hanging out with Louisoix, who we haven't seen since 400 billion years ago, who's chasing after the ghost of her grandfather, who is dead. Her dead grandfather, who's dead, and who's never going to come alive again, who's going to leave her alone for the rest of her eternity with no one to care for her. And that's what we're doing. Just breaking a young girl's heart. Full glad I am for thy safe return. Lady Louisoix hath apprised me of thy many experiences. As thou wilt doubtless be aware, Master Louisoix was my lady's grandsire. Gravely concerned was I for her safety, but 'twould seem I need not have been so. With all my heart I do thank thee for watching over her. But come, thou must speak with Mistress Louisoix upon that which transpired within the binding coil. May it serve to bring us closer to the truth of the calamity.
Shall we begin, then? Urianger, I understand you have a report of your own to share with us.
Aye, my lady. Even as thou didst emerge from the depths, an etheric disturbance betokening primal activity was observed. In Mordona was it marked first. By comparison of time and magnitude, we have since deduced its origin, the Cardinal Flats.
Strange. There have been no reports of primal activity in that region. It could only have been Bahamut. That would certainly explain how we came to be in northern Thanalan. Somehow the cavern took us all the way from Vilbrand to the heart of Alphinaud.
'Twould seem so, my lady.
It is all but certain, then. After Bahamut disappeared 5 years ago, he hid himself deep beneath Cardno, and has since lain dormant, regenerating.
Aye, my lady. Taken together with thine own account of Bahamut's continued presence, the land's slowness to heal and the disorder of the etheric currents do point to one conclusion. Bahamut stirreth. If left unchecked, the primal shall drink of Eorzea's life force till he doth awaken to rain ruin upon the land. There's me himbo posing.
Rest assured, I do not mean to give up, Brick. Bahamut may still live, but so too does Grandfather. For the past 5 years, he's been keeping vigil over his nemesis, making certain that the primal does not escape.
Master Louisoix doth yet live. I durst not hope. And thou art certain 'twas no mere manifestation of thine all too sorely felt grief.
I know how desperate this may sound, Urianger, but I saw him with my own 2 eyes, as did Brick. No, I'm afraid he didn't. But he vanished deeper into the labyrinth before we had the chance to speak. 2 more like fragments of Dalamud pierced the earth when the lesser moon fell. One we have seen. If we can but find the other 2, I'm certain that we will find Grandfather as well.
If thou so believest, my lady, then I too shall have faith. If it please you, I shall notify the grand companies of this development. All of Eorzea must stand united if we are to avert a repeat of the calamity.
That will not be necessary, Urianger. Being the great conciliator that he is, Alphinaud will seek to unite Eorzea of his own accord. If rumors are true, that endeavor is already well underway. So, let us leave the diplomacy to the diplomat, while we continue our investigation of Bahamut. I swear to you, no matter what it takes, we will find my grandfather and uncover the whole truth of the calamity. Brick, you have heard me swear to do these things, but without your strength, I cannot hope to make good on my word.
Well, my strength and, like, the 7 superheroes I'm going to bring along with me.
The danger to Eorzea is not past. For the sake of all who abide here, I pray that you will ever be our sword in the darkness.
Okay. So that now... Primal nature. Right. What are we doing? Another turn in the coil. That would be the one. A crystal choked abyss, abyss lieth beneath the Cartano Flats, the unholy cradle of an elder primal, and by thy hand were truths great and terrible wrested from those once celestial depths. Yet, as is oft the case, an answer doth breed a profusion of questions, and the unknown doth beckon with irresistible allure. Ne'er have the mysteries of the Red Moon lain so neatly within our grasp. Lady Alice have sent word of her coming. 'Tis time once more to brave the precipice, leap unflinching into the jagged wound that doth gape beneath the land.
Yes. Oh, boy. Danger. Yes. We're gonna... So... Whoa. Scary stuff.
My apologies, I've kept you waiting. Brick, I am both delighted and reassured to have you at my side once more. I would not waste your time with trivialities. Let us proceed directly to the discussion of that which we have learned, and that which we hope to learn anon. Initially, it was evidence of a new primal that led us to delve into the cavern beneath Castor Boxer.
So is this a quest that released in parts and pieces over the course of, like, post-AR patch content? Because that would be the only reason why I can think that she's gonna do, like, a recap for us. Yeah, chat says yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Let's just skip over that.
I've since shared off sundry findings with Rambros, preeminent scholars of the Sons of St. Coinac, and in turn, he did kindly furnish me with his theory concerning the Elder Primal's Allagan prison. 'Twould seem that Dalamud was constructed to gather unto itself the rays of the sun, and thence channel this radiant bounty onto the Crystal Tower. The Ancients saw great potential in Bahamut's capacity to manipulate energies of otherwise unmanageable magnitude. 'Twas for that reason that they did bind him within the Red Moon to serve as its living core.
Do you remember the sight that greeted us at the culmination of our journey? The colossal devices that surrounded and seemed to cradle the incomplete form of the Elder Primal? From the information provided to us by the Sons of St. Coinac, we have learned that these contraptions were termed internment hulks, and that each bore the designation Ragnarok class. The purpose of these hulks is believed to be twofold. First, they are meant to act as binding coils, rendering Bahamut incapable of escape. And second, they are meant to feed him. Perversely, the selfsame energy which prevents him from moving also serves to sustain his corporeal manifestation. Bahamut is permitted neither to die nor truly to live. He is merely allowed to be.
For century upon century was the Elder Primal thus imprisoned, bound about in fetters so subtle in their working, and yet so adamant that though his cell be destroyed, Bahamut lieth yet at the mercy of his long-departed captors.
It has long been held that primals require the prayers of their faithful followers to exist, yet none alive worship Bahamut. Could it be then that the Allagans found a way to simulate prayer itself? It seems the only logical explanation.
Oh.
I would postulate, therefore, that the regenerative mechanisms in question also supply something akin to the power of prayer. Consequently, if all of the interment hulks were to be rendered inactive, Bahamut should dissolve into the ether.
Upon the evidence of thy previous foray, we determined that the Elder Primal is sustained by 3 such binding coils. Thus did we commence to scour the realm, and found in the 12's wood an as yet unexplored fragment of the Lesser Moon, bearing a most familiar etheric signature.
And after conducting a preliminary investigation, we believe we have discovered points from which this North Shroud fragment and the second of the interment hulks can be entered. As Eorzea's sword in the darkness, I would have you once more lead the charge. I will, of course, be there at your side. Once you've made your preparations, head to Falgourd Float and make yourself known to my assistant, Serpent Lieutenant Anale.
Or Anael.
The fallen fragment is not far from the settlement, and her position provides a convenient rendezvous point. I will break these Allagan fetters, for they bind my grandfather as surely as they bind Bahamut.
Hey, maybe the thing that's keeping the Elder Primal, like, chill and not destroying all of the everything. Maybe we shouldn't break, like, maybe we shouldn't, like, those, which is, like, maybe not. Like, we should just, like, it's, like, maybe it's cool. Maybe it's fine that they're there and he's, like, just sleeping and everything. Like, maybe that's okay and we don't need to, but no, okay.
Brigotham, I've been expecting you. My name is Anneli. I have been accorded the rank of lieutenant within the Order of the Twin Adder, that I may better assist Lady Alice in her endeavors here in the Twelfthwood. Such authority has allowed me to act without interference from the local soldiery and to conduct a preliminary investigation of the Alder Springs fragment.
Yeah, I love to conduct illegal investigations.
From what we've seen of the exterior, the structure shares many common features with the one you explored in Anosia and likely plays host to a similar complement of guardians. But I fear words alone will do little to prepare you for what lies ahead. Pray, seek out my comrade to the south and west. He's charged with observing all that occurs in the vicinity of the fragment and will be well placed to show you the thing, if nothing less.
Okay. I'll go talk to him.
Boo! What business brings you to this broken land? Unless you fancy being ground to a bloody pulp under the granite fists of a wandering golem, I suggest you bugger up. Oh, my apologies, sir. Lady Alice did send word of your impending arrival, but 'twould seem I've grown rather too accustomed to shooing away curious sellswords and reckless explorers. Behold, if you will, one of the fallen shards of the Red Moon Dalamud. Our initial survey uncovered no evidence of the Empire's presence, which, while fortunate in itself, meant that the approach to the fragment had yet to be cleared. After much effort, however, we succeeded in carving out a semblance of a path which should grant you access to the entrance, and that, I'm afraid, is where our progress ended. The interior? Well, assuming that the architecture of this hulk resembles the first, the master controls you seek will be located on the bottommost layer, past all the ingenious and deadly defenses of which the ancient Allegan seems so indecently fond. If you would know more, I'm afraid there's nothing for it but to brave the depths of the fragment yourself. Lady Alice will soon be arriving at Falgourd. Pray do not tarry on your way back to the lieutenant's posts. I imagine our young mistress will be most eager to commence the exploration. The road ahead promises perils aplenty, and I would humbly suggest that this is not the occasion to stint on preparation of provisions. May the 12 watch over you. No, I'm good. I'm gonna be fine, I think. I have a feeling that it's gonna be cool, and it's not gonna be a problem. Just you know, like an uncanny sense that I might be, if anything, over-prepared.
Master Eltham, I trust the private explanation was worth the journey.
Not really, but sure.
Simply securing an approach to the fragment's entrance proved a monumental task. I dare not think what defeating its inner defenses will entail. If there's aught I might do to aid you... Lady Alice... Oh, my apologies, Master Alphinaud. Has there been a change of plans?
Urianga informed me of the impending expedition. I merely came to exchange a few words with my fellow scion before he disappeared into the depths of the second coil. Brick, though I would strenuously deny it if you were present, my sister's admiration and affection for our grandsire exceeds even my own.
Oh shit, fuck, I skipped something.
'Twas that which prompted her to brave the perils of the first coil. Yet the fact that she risked her life in this manner is not the greatest of my concerns, no. It's her subsequent fixation upon my grandfather's shade that worries me most. This quest to rid the world of Bahamut must not become a quest to save a man long dead. My sister must needs have better reason to fight. A time will come when the fate of the realm rests upon our shoulders, and when it does, we must be strong in our resolve, and certain of the stakes for which we risk all.
You arrogant little... Just talk to your sister, then! Like, fucking sit down and have, help her process the trauma or something. Don't dump that shit on me. Motherfucker. I'm not your fucking... I am not your therapist service. You call me when someone needs to kill a god or look really fucking good in hot pants. Those are the things that I do.
There's a wide difference between fighting for the good of Eorzea and fighting for the love of a man who died for the good of Eorzea. Alice must choose her own path. She cannot rely on grandfather to choose it for her, for he's gone. I'm glad that it is with you whom she makes this journey.
If Alice is to discover a deeper purpose, then where better to find one than at the side of Eorzea's greatest champion? It was there that I found mine, after all. But 'tis past time I was gone. Fair fortune in your endeavors, Brick. Yeah, Lieutenant Anail, was it? I would appreciate you making no mention of my presence here to my sister. Lady Alice is due to arrive any moment. I shall abide in confident expectation of your triumphant return.
Talk to your goddamn sister, Alphinaud. And there we go. Okay. Who hasn't been along? I think Syndra hasn't been along. You haven't been along. I think you have. But I don't think you've been along. I don't think you've been along. I don't know what you're doing, but it's very cool. You can come along. And how about you? And you? I don't think Hypatia has been along either. Hey! Okay, let me just make damn sure that I still have got the unrestricted party. Good. The second Coil of Bahamut. More golems. Instead of orange, now it's all gray. And floaty. God damn, there's a lot of those things. Oh, okay. That showed up all of a sudden.
How strange. Why could we not see all this before? I suppose it's only to be expected that the corrupted crystal should accompany a disturbance of this magnitude. After all, the fragments likely pierce the ground to the depth of many hundreds of yards. The swirling ether leaking from the wound must warp the very air, creating a veil that hides these formations from view.
That was some quick theorizing about what's happening.
Well, it's not as if we expected this to be a straightforward task. Let's tread carefully, shall we, Brick? 'Tis imperative that we win through the depths of this structure and disable the mechanisms that power Bahamut's regeneration. Of course, if we should chance to encounter my grandfather upon the way, I shall not let him go again. Not while there's hope he may be saved. But mayhap we should put such thoughts from our mind until after we have successfully gained entrance to the place. That opening up ahead appears a suitable point of ingress.
I'm soloing this so I might be able to join you in the final coils. Absolutely. Like, if you can get there, you're absolutely... People have been slaughtering. You are absolutely welcome to do that. Just let me know and I'll put you in a party for it. Seem a little stuck there, buddies. Who's this guy? Oh, hey. They broke. A summoner skill, I guess. Where are we going? Oh, this way. God damn it. I do this all the time. I right-click and left-click at the same time on a skill. Ooh. Oh, hey! It's an, Ochu. I'm not 100% sure that one's taken from Final Fantasy X. No, it's not. I don't think it is, anyway. Might be from 12, though. Actions and traits. Sprint. Put that back there. Let's really just lock them. There we go. Reflecia. Yeah, classic. Another classic Final Fantasy enemy. Round 2. Brick became the PR guy that hogs the microphone to get the credit for everyone else's hard work. Yes, I am a tech CEO now. Knock, knock? Again, I quite like the... Oh, hey!
That armor. No, it couldn't be. Be on your guard, Brick. Though it defies all reason that he should live, I know of only one who wears such an armor. He whom the Empire raised as high as the Black Wolf himself, the legatus of the 7th Legion, rather. I speak of the madman who brought the Meteor Project to fruition. We face the White Raven, Nail the Darkness, harbinger of the 7th Umbral Era.
Nice helmet, dork. Nail Van Darkness. Ah, that was the name of the fool who perished upon the eve of the promised Age of Glory. It should not be uttered within these hallowed halls. Fancy lad. Out of love for his loyal servant, the one true deity named me Nile Deus Danus.
The one true deity. Bahamut! He speaks of Bahamut!
Are we gonna have to kill Louisoix? Lord Bahamut, thy name is the sweetest sweet water to parched lips. How my heart swells at thy sacred touch. Ew. We're dealing with a monster fucker. Careful, everyone! This blessed sanctum is the domain of my God and his beloved children. Seek to defile its glory, and you will answer to me.
How is this possible? From what Alphinaud has told me, Nell was slain on the eve of the calamity.
What? Ah, goddammit. I clicked on a thing. Fortunately, I have a log. What? Yeah. Okay.
Whatever the truth of the matter, we must be on our guard. There can be no reasoning with the worshippers of a primal.
There we go. Thank God for logs. Woo! Just cut to me jumping over the edge. I do like the sort of distorted architecture in here, like how everything is sort of skewed and tilted, and like in the wrong orientation. A Lamia dancer. That's cool. They just melt. There's a Final Fantasy XII enemy. I think those might be from 13, but I'm not sure. Oh, hello. That's a chimera from... That's not from 10, no. Like, but yeah, like, I just have time to talk in here because I don't need to do anything. But like the the geometry of this place and like the intentional mixing and matching of lines that like crisscross and like go at all different purposes and in all different directions. It's like properly disorientating. And I wonder how intentional that is. Like, I wonder if that's like a thing of, like, it's sort of meant to reflect the state of Alice's mind, that she is like confused and hallucinating a little bit, or that this place is sort of messing with reality. And the music again is quoting from Answers. Well, hello. I don't think that's a direct port of a model that I recognize, but that looks a lot like one of the fiends, the elemental fiends of Final Fantasy I. Like, with fewer arms, but similar kind of deal. Let's see. I can... can I get a closer look? Ooh. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a direct reference necessarily. It's just a similar kind of enemy. Like, it's a standard sort of Naga-Medusa mix kind of thing. Snake hair, snake lady. Huh. I was kind of hoping it would be a reference, but I don't think it is, looking closer at her. Perfectly cool design, just not that interesting, I think. Anyway, you guys want to kill that thing? How you doing? It'll never not be funny. I shudder. I shudder to think how long this would have taken if I were if I tried to do it back when like this stuff was new content. Especially since I just am not a very good MMO player. Like, I'm just not, like, the whole managing ability rotations and like keeping an eye on like damage zones and managing, like, there's a reason I play tank, you know.
I'm reminded of the passages beneath Castrum Occidents. We must have traveled quite some distance below the surface. More of the same tunnels. 12 be good. Surely they cannot continue all the way down from the upper floors? 'Tis difficult to see inside, but I have a terrible feeling those corridors house more of the dreadful guardians you've already faced. It is said that the Allagans excelled in the creation of chimerical beasts, and that the Red Moon teemed with fantastical monstrosities, all to prevent the enemies of the ancient empire from releasing the Elder Primal. I wonder, the creatures that prowl these halls, could they be the beloved children of which Nail spoke? Well, this is yet another mystery to ponder upon our return. Shall we continue onwards?
I disagree. You're doing well. It just comes down to practice and pattern recognition. Yeah, like, I still feel like I don't really have a great grasp on, like, the symbols. You know, the things that, like the tank buster symbol, for example, and like the ground symbols that mean like you need to go in X direction kind of thing. 42,000 damage just happens there. Whee! Activating defense system. Not fast enough, buddy. I do kind of wonder, like, if you played through this content when it was, oh hey, look, we've made a friend. If you played through this content when it was first released and you see me just running through like this, does it upset you? Like, is it like a little bit annoying? Like, motherfucker, you just get to waltz through this shit? I had to spend weeks trying to find a raid group. Because I could imagine I would be a little bit like, these kids today, they don't know how good they have it. Why, back in my day... You guys hear something? These days, hardcores have ultimates and you can't run through it. Okay, yeah, they've introduced new difficulty settings. That makes sense. Wait, do I recognize that monster? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Whee! The Avatar. Oh no, he's putting status effects on me. Oh no. Cool character design though, that thing. Like I do like the sort of like diffused bodies in all different directions kind of thing. It's pretty cool. My Savage Raider friend says Raiders are the first to unsynchronize content. Yeah, I can imagine. They are patching the new standard markers into the AR Heavensward dungeons in preparation for 7.0, but doing it slowly. Okay. Took me almost 2 weeks to kill that thing. Yeah, and I don't even know what its mechanics were. It's just, oh, it's there and now it's gone. Bye. It's the Treant model with Technobabble. Yeah, that makes sense. Freaky. Oh god, was that the coronavirus again? That thing is haunting me. You've got issues getting past the Avatar boss. I don't know, like, if you're on... Yeah, oh my god. It does look like the fucking novel coronavirus. Fucking hell. Even during this fight unsynced, I still struggled with it. Yeah. If you need any help, Bloodleaf, there might be some people, like, I don't know if you're in the free company or whatever, but, like there might be some people who are otherwise just waiting for me, who can go and help you out.
That surely cannot be Dalamud. Where are we?
The final resting place of Nail Vandanus. This is a grave for the undeserving.
Is Nail a woman? I guess she is. People in chat say so, but the dialogue said that they were male. For some reason.
And for the crime of trespassing upon my god's sanctuary, this place shall serve as your grave too.
It's complicated. Okay.
No!
Yeah, no, that, I mean, they look gender ambiguous, if anything.
In the hours of its failure, Nail Vandanus felt the currents of ether begin to bear away his essence. But before oblivion could claim the last of him, a divine will reached out, and I was born.
In the Japanese version, Nail's gender was undetermined until during 1.0, while English defaulted to labeling them male. This caused problems come this reveal. Okay, well, let's just say that they are a they. Or, fuck it, they can be male. Like, gender is fake anyway.
Then did the words of my God resound in mine ears. Bring on to mine enemies crushing defeat, that they might know despair without end, and claim thee thus the victory thou wert once denied.
Gender Vandarnus. Yes, absolutely. Ooh, nice. Wait, are you gonna transform already? Oh, come on! You saved that for the second phase!
'Twould seem that little remained of Nail's essence when Bahamut plucked him from the brink of oblivion, and the result was this strange simulacrum. Nevertheless, her aura bespeaks great power. She channels the rage of the Elder Primal himself. Lord Bahamut, thy wish is my command. None shall escape thine unquenchable fury. Come, ye dull, unthinking beasts, bare your teeth. They will avail you not in the calamity to come.
Your character design is boring, lady. You're just like a demon lady with wings. Honestly. Let's listen to the music a little bit before we kick her ass, though. Also, I want to look at the character design a little more closely. Hey, that spear looks familiar. That halberd looks familiar. What, can I not get a front view with this? Oh, the idle cam is having trouble there. Yeah, I gotta say, not a super interesting character design, this one. Especially, like, in the pantheon of, like, Final Fantasy grand final bosses. Like, the sort of corrupted humans with, like, their misshapen demigod-like bodies. I'm not really feeling this one. This is just, like, generic MMO demon lady with wings. Oh well. The music is a banger, though. Getting buffed through the absolute roof. Oh, we have mechanics, do we? Oh, okay. 0 damage. What's funny to me about this is that, like, just the fact that everyone else is so fucking overpowered, it undercuts the seriousness of what's happening so badly. It's like, oh, I'm summoning meteors from the sky. Like minions throwing a thing. And just like 0 damage, 0 damage, 0 damage. 8,000 damage. Okay, that hurts a little bit. But I just... Yeah, no, that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really matter. Nothing happens. Oh, the debris explodes. I see. Probably should try not to die from that. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's what I get for being the lowest level party member. 5 seconds to Mega Flare. 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. This one was hard to solo at least level 80. I can imagine. I can fully imagine. And it turns out we've been inside the holodeck this entire time. This was a Star Trek crossover episode. Thanks for the help, everyone. I think I would have had trouble with this one if I had tried to do it, you know, like synced, level synced. Oh hey, you're still not dead. Everyone else has left. There's one Lalafell in a nice suit.
Poor creature. Would that you had never been born. You had surrendered your physical form and collapsed into ether, but Bahamut denied you death and imprisoned what little was left of you in an ethereal shell resembling... what, I wonder? Images from your memory, perhaps? But that shell is now broken, and your primal deity seems disinclined to sustain your existence. My primal deity! I kneel to no icon! What need have I to beg the favor of such filth? I am Nail Vendanis, legatus of the 7th Legion. No, a moment. My thoughts are clouded, and this body is not mine own. Could it be that you spoke the truth? Was I ensorcelled by the Lesser Moon's ancient prisoner? That will not happen again. You speak as if Bahamut no longer controlled you, but that's impossible. Once a primal ensnares a mind, it cannot be freed. Unless Bahamut simply relinquished his claim. What need has he of a broken spirit bound for the ethereal realm? Ah, that I should fall prey to the very influence I sought to purge from the land. The irony is galling. But do not assume that all of my actions were chosen for me. It was my will that the Meteor Project be resurrected. Mine, and none other. Yet it seems that my grand designs were destined to fail. Even the ungentle release of death was denied me. Nail, please, you must tell us more of the calamity. I must know the truth of what has befallen the world, and what has become of my grandfather, Archon Louisoix. You are Louisoix's grandchild. Ah, the fates are generous with their cruelty. Continue on if you would have your answers. They await you at the terminus of your path. But know that this path only leads to despair. The light of truth was ever harsh and unforgiving. Why do you say this? Grandfather will be freed once we put a stop to Bahamut's restoration, will he not? What are you not telling us? Steel yourself, child. Only unbending resolve and merciless strength can conquer what lies ahead. The weak can do naught but weep under the pall of their own.
Oh, it's another fascist.
As did the fragile child I once was.
Rawr, will to power.
Who speaks?
Silence, chattering raven. Your wretched wings are broken, and you shall soar no more.
My crimson moon, your brilliance sears mine eyes.
Bye. F's in chat.
I recognize that voice, Brig. But never would he say such words. Come, let us finish what we came to do. All will be put aright when the final Hulk lies dormant. Grandfather will be himself again, I'm sure of it.
Oh, so that was Louisoix. Okay. Hey, we're back here again. Except, ooh, there seems to be rather more of Bahamut now.
Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that disabling this coil will serve to slow the process. The display seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism we found at the Lanosian Hulk. It shouldn't pose a problem.
Why am I having hiccups now? Why am I having hiccups now? Oh, god damn it.
Brick, forgive me. The moment I beheld Nail's transformation, hope wilted in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. For all your fabled strength and skill, I felt certain then that I was going to lose you, just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was humbled before Bahamut's might. And yet, look how far we've come. 'Tis incredible feats of which we are capable, our boundless potential. It was this capacity for greatness, I believe, that grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I've come to understand that much at least. "'Tis done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We've seen much that will benefit from Urianger's learned perspective."
Ow.
Grandfather, it is you! Then why?
Abandon this quest, Alice. I will not countenance further sabotage of the coils.
Sabotage? But we must disable the coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival.
Your defiance seals your fate.
No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never...
Foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be bested by such sniveling opponents? Listen, well, we all exist at the pleasure of one divine will. And the word of Lord Bahamut is absolute. Scurry back to your holes, vermin. You have been granted this one reprieve, but should you be so foolish as to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life from you myself.
That light in grandfather's eyes. He has suffered the same fate as Nail. My grandsire is no more. That was naught but a phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expunged. I will not rest until I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. Do you hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Eorzea and my family will be avenged.
Anyway, let's go home for now.
Truly, it is wonderful to escape that stifling air and return to northern Thanalan again, it would appear. I must thank you, Brick. Were it not for your bravery, I strongly doubt that I would be standing here now. But you need not tarry on my account. The danger has passed. Pray, go on ahead and apprise Urianger of all that has occurred. I will join you anon. My thoughts are yet unruly, and I would rest here a while.
Sure, that seems like a great idea. Mind control and tempering feels like a cheap as a plot device for generating drama. It strips characters of agency. I mean, yeah, that is the nature of mind control. Very much what it's meant to do. But I get what you mean. Like, it very much, like, I really am not getting very much out of these quests as such. Like, I'm sort of, like, it sort of allows me to intuit some things about how the narrative of 1.0 went, but because I never played 1.0, like, this stuff, it clearly isn't really made for me as such. It's made for tying up, like, loose ends and sort of like servicing the people who have been with the game since 1.0, which is a noble goal, frankly. Like, that's a good thing to do. To sort of, like, tie up loose ends, try and close out some character arcs that were probably kind of abandoned when 1.0 was scrapped. It feels like they're doing maintenance, basically.
The triumphant hero doth return. Thine eyes speak of the dread task's completion. The second coil now lieth dormant. Yet I sense the tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill hath cast the shadow? What ill hath cast the shadow, which falleth now across thy brow? That one was a little bit convoluted. More so than usual. An old foe and an old friend.
Anyone willing to help me with nails so I can help at the final coil, please? Yeah, if anyone's willing to go help Bloodleaf out so they can get through that bit of the game, go and do that.
So 'twas but the ethereal shadow of Master Louisoix that Lady Alice beheld, an unnatural conjuration in thrall to the Elder Primal. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men, even in full knowledge of the shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured? Such torment did she ne'er deserve. Mayhap 'twere better if Lady Alice did absent herself from future forays unto the coils.
I've come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger.
My lady,
I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries.
as you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would first speak of the Coil's late guardian, Nael Vandanis. Vandanis was a legatus of the Garlean Empire who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall even as the sixth sun did set. If thou hast heard tales of the White Raven, then it is he of whom they speak. I say he I say, for Nael was for certainty no maid.
I don't know, it seemed pretty... like, the presentation seemed ambiguous, at least.
The noble house of Vandanis, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Allag. 'Twas thus that the legatus came to learn the true nature of Dalamud, to seek to employ the Red Moon as a weapon against Eorzea. But the crystal tower and the mechanisms required to command the satellite yet lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Nael to construct a far less subtle mechanism. And in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he did likely rouse the satellite's slumbering prisoner. Thenceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Bahamut.
He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance.
'Tis little wonder he was so loath to part with him. Why let a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Vandanis' resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a man's servant.
I only hope that the two thralls we encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet, I cannot help but dwell on Nail's words. Those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first he referred to the moon's beastly guardians, but should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove this source of worship. Otherwise our efforts to disable the coil shall be for naught.
Forgive mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal's thralls, but canst thou truly pursue a course which would cost thee thine own grandsire?
My heart and mind are as one in this matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won but by a single method, the destruction of Bahamut and aught that might serve to sustain him. Brick, while Urianger and I endeavor to ascertain the existence of any further thralls, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your blah blah blah.
Yes. Though time hath dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I'm wounded afresh. Master Louisoix, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Sharlayan. Yet, when each new revelation serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom we would fain protect, must we truly reach for more? So, you found your resolve, dear sister. Will you now find a use for the secret, for the key that only you and I hold? Given our familial propensity for curiosity, you would do well to remember that keys may serve to seal doors as well as unlock them, and Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest to whom the door should never have been opened.
Talk to her! You condescending little shit.
Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which he illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet, ever onward forth, just Mistress Alice, undeterred by the burdens of the knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one. I prithee, Brick, remain by her side as her valiant blade, that she might see it to her conclusion.
And now we're going to get a recap, I imagine.
Brick, it is well that you are here.
My lady, how may I serve you this day?
I've met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel.
As you know...
Blah, 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 blah. Recap, 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 recap. Recap, 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 recap.
But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, I've been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Dalamud.
My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again in Brick's company? Full oft hath the warrior of light set immense in motion by virtue of his presence alone. 'Tis possible that he may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long.
Were it anyone else, I should question the wisdom of such advice. Yet, I cannot deny that what you say about Brick is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now we seek entry to 2 fragments of Dalamud. One lies at the Burning Wall in Eastern Thanaland, the other at the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant at each location with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could since have found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was.
What does TB stand for? Oh, it's an abbreviation for an old website that I used to be a moderator for. There you are. Okay, Jesus Christ. For a second, I thought it was Hildebrand.
I say, are you not Master Ulfum, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinis, sir, at your service. And may I say what an honor it is to meet you?
How goes the survey, Dex?
My lady, it shames me to say that I found no viable path through the fragment. Though it stands there before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far proven impassable.
I mean, I can fly, so I don't know if that helps.
When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it.
Again, I can fly.
We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona to try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinus has fared better.
Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I'm sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother over a bell ago. As you know, the singing shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened to Dex.
But why didn't you give me strength? We must hurry to my assistant's aid, Brick.
Who the fuck choreographed all this? Oh my god. Oh man, I almost feel bad for moving now. Oh fucking hell. Oh, my stomach, ow. Alright, this poor guy who's dying. Let's help him out.
Thank you, adventurer. Yeah, for a moment there, I feared that my bones were be ground up and used to bake bread.
I'm relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you.
My lady, your worries are wasted on me. 'Twas nothing at all, I assure you. Yeah, if it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that's like to take time, and there's really no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. As such, I'm forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady.
Confound it. We're losing precious time. What are we to do now?
'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalamud. Pray escort Mistress Alice to the cerulean processing plant in northern Thanalan. There all shall be made clear.
Urianger has found a way. Then we must go to him at once.
Urianger, buddy, how you doing?
That is a big vehicle.
Is that one of those, like, that can seat, like, 4 people or something? Kinda looks like it.
Mine apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady, but it is here that your journey may finally begin.
I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan.
Nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself has made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lies to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not?
Yes, an ethereal stream bores back to the surface. That much had I surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if that were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places which we have already explored?
It need not, my lady. Pray allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that two internment hulks may share the self-same ethereal egress. From this we did infer that others may be connected in like wise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the self-same stream, in which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we may call the headwater, we proposed to employ a modified aetherite, which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet, be fairly warned, my lady, as with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life.
No, it's a risk I'm willing to take. You're brilliant, Urianger. But I am curious. Did you have assistance in forming this plan? I could not help you noticing your repeated usage of the word we, unless you've taken to using the majestic plural in our absence.
Nay, my lady, as you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor.
Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission? Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. So, that must be the modified aetherite. But what are the immortal flames doing here?
Those men may be sworn flames of Uldar, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Levelieu. Ah, there he is. That's the boy.
Alphinaud? So it was you who was helping Urianger?
Who else could it have been, dear sister?
Lest you worry, I've no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given that which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Urianger. It was at my behest that he kept silent.
Huh, we will speak later.
Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Alphinaud must be informed. Though your grandsire hath become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courses yet through both your veins, and he must needs be struck down.
Do you hear that, Alphinaud? I mean to strike down Grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the ether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold Grandfather's legacy.
Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire? Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve.
Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was Grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of us. That's why we came here, unless you've forgotten.
Gods forbid I should ever forget, Alice, but you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. I don't know, because it's the right thing to do? Alphinaud, you little shit. Oh yeah, like preventing the deaths of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. If you can't give a good reason. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but Grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. Like, what a fucking, like, pushes glasses up the bridge of nose, like, well, actually, technically, your resolve isn't coming from you, it's coming from your grandfather. So, actually, it's, like, not the same thing. Honestly. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of Grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Levelieu, I would be present for his final moments.
Very well. You may join us on one condition. I make the decisions.
If it please my lady, the name's Erkenrad. Our preparations are just about complete. When you're ready to embark on your mission, just give me the word. I'll be waiting for you at the cerulean processing plant.
Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We've come this far together, you and I, and together we shall see our journey to its end.
Alphinaud is such a dick. Like, this moment of all times, he chooses to, like, give his sister a big fucking lecture about how she should pursue her goals in life. Fucking jackass. Ah, I see the peanut gallery has gathered. I think the synchronized dances are genuinely the best.
I've been waiting for you, Master Ulfum. I'm pleased to say that the Aetheryte's primed and ready. As you know, the remaining internment hulks are connected to the fragments in Eastern Thantlan and Mordona. It's to the former we'll be sending you first. Now, you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there.
Oh, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Best be prepared for anything, for my lady's sake, if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word and I'll send you on your way. I'm even throwing a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, people have split into teams. The people down there are going with you. Us 7 up here are gonna race you. Okay. Absolutely, let's fucking go. Now it's a race! Which does mean I'm at a disadvantage because I'm gonna be watching all the cutscenes and the dialogue. So I don't know, I feel like we'll probably lose this one because I'm slow. The rest of the party can just run ahead though. Like, you guys just skip all the cutscenes and fucking blast it.
So, this is how it looks on the inside. This internment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We are come to the right place. There's no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since last we beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil.
Oh, you're watching them too? Excellent.
There were receptacles similar to these in the previous hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Allagans know what other abominations may be sleeping within. They may well be part of Dalamut's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times.
Again, like, the Allagan aesthetic is really genuinely pretty damn good. Like, I really do like this tech aesthetic. Oh no, monsters! Anyway. Let's see. We can go both ways around, I think. Yeah. Oh, we left one. We left one. There we go. Whee! I haven't even drawn my weapon. It's so fucking funny. And I guess this is the boss fight. Ooh. Cool. And those are specifically some of the monsters we've already fought, too, which is cool. Oh, that's kind of nice. Like a hammerhead thing, but with tentacles for a face. Imdugud. One minute 49. La 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 la. You did it in 148. Ah. You got us by 1 second. Nicely done.
By the 12. Dragons. And so many. We were aware the Allegans possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. It is plain that no love was lost between the Allegans and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Bahamut did not want for defenses, this we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Allegans created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alice. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists?
The dragons?
No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Allegans had perhaps discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words gave me cause to reconsider, specifically the Shade's mention of Bahamut's beloved children. From that I inferred that the Primal is given form by the will of worshippers whom we have yet to...
The dragons.
Oh. God strike me down for a blind fool! Bahamut's beloved children, right there before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think I wonder why the Allegans kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Allegan Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the Primal's existence.
Wait, torture is cool. Love torture.
Truly, the Allegans' ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of calamity. Will you now turn your hatred towards your own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Alphinaud. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste, regardless of the atrocities the Allegans committed against his kind. We have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the Primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on.
Well, this got heavy all of a sudden.
This got fucking heavy all of a sudden.
Jesus. Well, time to murder a whole people.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Great.
Regeneration grid.
That's no moon. Someone has to make that joke, right? some point. Woo! Oh, way down inside. Meow. I'm helping. This is still just fun and funny. Who's next? Ooh. Oh, that's cool. That is a cool thing. Probably gonna be dead very soon. Kalia. 159. Robot Cerberus. That was a very cool little character design. Didn't have time to look at it much. 209 for you guys. Hey, 1-1. The score is tied.
Why, this looks like a model of Bahamut, yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him, unable to move, denied the release of death. How his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail Vandarnis. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed. But knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever of the necessity of our endeavor.
Oh, we aren't going to race for the last one. Okay, so turn 3 is going to be the deciding turn. Oh, it all comes down to this.
Besides, his is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance.
Rathalos is level 70 content. Yeah, it'll be a while, I'm sure. But I shall have him. Oh, yes, I shall.
Gods, he is almost whole again.
Ah, sparing me the trouble of voice acting. Thank you.
His size is staggering. I can scarce imagine how Grandfather stood against such a monstrosity.
This cannot be allowed to proceed any further. Let us disable the coil and move on.
Hey, there he is.
Grandfather? No, that man is dead. I will not dishonor my beloved grandsire's memory by calling you such. You are but his twisted shame, the thrall of a mad primal.
You were foolish to disregard my warning, child. Are you so convinced of your own righteousness?
'Tis the rightness of our path that led us to return. Eorzea will never be safe whilst Bahamut remains to threaten all we hold dear. What of the hero who gave his life in defense of the realm? Do you truly dispute the justice of our cause?
My poor, ignorant grandchildren. Your world is shaped by naught but recent conflict. Listen, and I will speak to you of justice. 'Twas in the twilight of the third astral era. The southern land of Mericidia suffered invasion at the hands of the Alagon Empire. With no atrocity too depraved for their purpose. The forces of Alec were unstoppable in their advance. Desperate for salvation, the dragons prayed to one of their first brood, to their ancestor Bahamut. Infused by the power of their fervent supplications, Bahamut arose from the abyss of death and took wing as the Mericidians' newborn god. Yet this great miracle would only serve to further the maniacal designs of the dragon's imperial conquerors. The cruel fetters which bind my lord stand testament to the Allagan's boundless greed and hubris. I once summoned the 12 in an attempt to forestall the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. What then did the dragons of Mericidia do that I did not? Wherefore are they accursed and I exalted? 'Tis man's overweening belief in his own primacy that blinds him to the commonness of his condition and the truth of his own tyranny.
Okay, that line goes pretty hard.
As long as man is suffered to remain, the dragons shall never be at peace. Only when the plague of people has been expunged shall the children of Lord Bahamut be free. Then shall the world know true justice.
Stop it! Grandfather would never say such things. His belief that people were worth saving never faltered. He had faith in their strength, that they could stand together and push back against the darkness seeking to shape them.
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed a race. Stand together? Huh? They would first need to agree on which direction to face. If history teaches us anything, it is that man cannot find common ground between his own 2 feet.
That's objectively wrong, but go off.
Even you, twins whose veins run with the same blood, struggle to fathom each other's reasoning. You hide your differing agendas behind the convenient banner of Eorzea's salvation. Given your obvious self-interest, can you truly claim no kinship with the Allagan? And though I hope they might bring you closer, 'twould seem that the twin grimoires I bestowed upon you were a wasted gesture.
There may well be truth in your judgment of Alice and me, but such a one-sided tirade bemoaning the evils of man rings false, coming from the lips of Archon Louisoix. Tell me, do you champion the cause of dragons because Bahamut compels you as his thrall? Or is it because you yourself have transcended the limits of man's existence?
Ah, so the possibility did not escape your notice. What I prayed for, and what I have become. These are the keys that unlock the truth behind Eorzea's rebirth. If you would have them, then you must needs take them by force. Come, rend this divine form asunder and claim your answers.
Ooh, a phoenix dragon. Well, isn't that symbolic? Rebirth and all.
But I thought... No. He has become a primal?
It is difficult, I know, but you must accept it. That entity is no phantom or imposter. It is our beloved grandsire.
Please, for his sake and for ours, you must defeat our grandfather.
Should take about, oh, I don't know, a minute. Louisoix was not the imposter. Nice. Phoenix. Yeah. Presumably we need to take him out like more than once, because that's kind of Phoenix's whole thing. Ooh, okay. Looks like you shouldn't run into that. 24 seconds. There we go. We may have all run in. Oops. Victory for Team TV's Hooray for us. I guess that's just an insta-kill effect then.
Grandfather is truly gone this time, but better it end this way than the alternative.
I am yet here, Alice, my dear, sweet granddaughter.
Grandfather?
I must thank you, warrior of light. Without your valor, I might never have broken free of Bahamut's control. These last few moments are mine, to live as the man I once was.
This is all that I wanted. Yet, now that it is happening, I find myself struggling to believe it. Is it really you?
Grandfather, pray forgive me my insolence. It was not my intent to demean you.
Forgive you? I am proud of you, child. You were wise enough to deduce the manner of creature I had become. Alphinaud, Alice, if any here should beg forgiveness, it is I.
Grandfather, I must ask, will you not tell us what befell during the calamity?
Yes, yes, of course. You have come far to hear the truth. Let us then begin the tale at the Battle of Cartano, where clashed the forces of the Garlean Empire and the Eorzean Alliance. 'Twas there in the sky above the surging armies that the elder primal Bahamut broke free of the Red Moon Dalamut. In an effort to contain this avatar of destruction, I called upon the 12 to aid me in the creation of a prison of ether. But Bahamut would not be caged by such feeble bars. Too vast was his might, too fierce his rage. Little choice remained to me. I used the last of my strength to entrust our hope unto the future, and prepared to meet my end. As you have no doubt surmised, I did not perish. When the cage built from the essences of the 12 was destroyed, the sky was filled with a colossal cloud of ether. This drifting energy responded to the prayers of those fighting below, and to my own desperate wish that the dying realm be saved by infusing me with the power of a primal. I became the immortal phoenix, ancient symbol of rebirth. Rising into the sky, I struck Bahamut with all my newfound strength. The blow shattered his earthly form, and a shower of ether rained down upon the land. Thus began the rejuvenation of Eorzea. Believing the deed done, I relinquished my hold on that staggering energy, desirous that it should be returned to the realm without delay. But I had not reckoned on Bahamut's tenacious will. Even as he teetered upon the cusp of oblivion, the dragon reached out to claim me. Alas, within my fast fading form, enough remained of the Phoenix's energy to offer Bahamut a hold, and he dragged me along in his wake.
And thus began your existence as the Elder Primal's thrall.
I cannot help but wonder at his will to survive. Though he was all but obliterated, Bahamut found a way to seize the power you surrendered. That would explain why part of his physical form survived to be entombed underground.
It would also explain why Eorzea was so terribly warped. Even as the land sought to restore itself, the returning flow of ether was cut off.
Ah, very good. When his grip on existence was once again secured, Bahamut did not cease his feast until he had consumed every last mote of ether that yet floated in the air.
And still he was not fully restored.
You must remember that by this time, much of the freed ether had already returned to the land. That which remained was not sufficient to reconstruct so massive a form in its entirety. But there did not need to be. Not for a being sustained by the marvels of Allagan technology.
Speaking of which, maybe we should stop him regenerating, like, now, before he... Okay.
As long as some piece of Bahamut persists, the Coils will seek it out and continue their regenerative task. The fragments of Dalamud appear motionless from the surface, but deep beneath the ground, they had been searching, tunneling through rock and soil towards their escaped prisoner. And, as you have observed for yourselves, they found his heart. Warrior of Light, heed me. You must put a stop to Bahamut's regeneration, whether it be for man or for dragonkind. The question of justice is irrelevant. The Elder Primal will leave naught but a smoldering wasteland for both his children and ours. I beg you to defend Eorzea and guide its people to the future they yet struggle to find. This portal will take you to the final internment hulk. 'Tis time for the tale of Bahamut and his part in the calamity to come to an end. Alphinaud, Alize, pray, come closer. Your hopes and dreams must no longer be an extension of mine. You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm, your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
Of course, Grandfather. I have already made it my mission to see this newborn Eorzea survive and flourish.
Alize, while I was yet enthralled to Bahamut, you spoke of my faith in man's strength. Know that your words reached me, imprisoned though my soul still was. So forceful was your conviction. I wonder if that belief has not become your own. Perhaps, after all your anger and sorrow was spent, you found something greater within you. See this fight to its culmination. 'Tis also your strength in which I have faith.
Thank you for everything. Pray, take your rest, Grandfather. You deserve it.
There are records of an art that allowed one to summon the power of a primal from the essence of its demise. And though I am no true primal, all that I have left, I give to you. Alphinaud, Louisoix, my darling grandchildren. May light's blessings ever keep and protect you.
Come, warrior of light. Our task remains undone.
That was a good cutscene. Nice to see an FMV. I really wasn't expecting that much story to be locked behind all of this. Again, like, it just doesn't do much for me because I don't have the context of the original game's story.
'Twas a long and arduous road, but at last we reach its end. Farewell, Bahamut. I banish you back to the ether.
Gonna take a wild guess that it won't be that easy.
He is not yet whole. I did not think him capable.
Louisoix! Louisoix!
I had thought it finally over. I will not survive another blast.
Do I want to do something about it, maybe? Nah.
Is this how I honor my promise to grandfather?
You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm. Your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
I will, grandfather. In fact, I believe I already have. That reason has been with me all along, guiding me. Eorzea's blade of light, shearing through endless shrouds of darkness.
I try not to talk too much shit about the voice acting, but boy, it is a little rough. Like, especially compared to the voice actor for Louisoix, who I believe is the same man who voices Gerald in Fire Emblem Three Houses. Certainly sounds like the same guy, who, like, has a lot of gravitas and, like, delivery and pacing to his voice, and then the voice actress doing Louisoix is, like, I think she's just being given bad direction. Like, that's my sense of the voice acting in a lot of, in most of Realm Reborn. It's just that the voice actors just weren't given good direction.
I have been shown the miraculous feats of which we are all capable, of which I am capable.
Right, like that right there, right? That sounds like a voice actress who's been given the note, like, enunciate, say all of the words very clearly one after another. And that's the kind of thing that can often happen. Like, it sort of it depends on a lot of things, but, like, when you are working with voice actors in a language and your voice director is not, doesn't natively speak that language, like, things like that can happen. It's like a lot of things can happen to produce a voice performance like this. And it's not always just, like, the voice actor's ability to act. It's like it's the performances that they're being asked for, because it's also on the voice director, it's also on the director and like the other staff involved in the voice production to know and understand when a performance isn't good enough.
Bahamut, you have wreaked enough havoc. I will not let your wrathful fires consume all that we know and love.
You want to help your sister out there, buddy?
How long I have waited to hear you say that. You have found your resolve at last.
Not now, Alphinaud.
Let me join my strength to yours. In this place, in this moment, our purpose has become one.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
For the future of Eorzea!
I feel like I'm missing some sound effects here.
This last task is yours, Warrior of Light. You must destroy Bahamut's crystal core.
There we go, that's better. Again, seems like some sound effects are missing here. Is this just a bug that I'm experiencing, or is that, like... There we go. I think it might be because I had the window deselected by accident. I clicked some stuff over on the Twitch chat. Okay, let's just hang on for a second, because I don't want this music to go away. And also... Oh, interesting. Right, so remember how the whole story was about how Bahamut is also, like, enslaved by Allegan technology? Look at the, like, all those little greebles all over his form, right? Look at all the greebles, like, look at the, like, the stuff that's sort of attached to his legs, especially, and all over his wings and stuff. It has that, like, angular sense of being technology, like stuff that's attached to him. So like that's very much part of his character design here, is like that aspect of that this is not just Bahamut, this is Bahamut corrupted by Allegan technology and corrupted by thousands of years of torment and hatred. It's such a solid melody, that one, too. Look at his posture, though. Like, holy shit. Tits just all the way out in front. Let's see. Let's not go too far forward. Ah, hello. Yeah. Here, interestingly, like, this seems to me to be like a representation of Dalamud itself. Like this shell that contains like these geometric hard lines that contain the fury and the fire of the power of something that is inside. Interesting. Really cool. Anyway, let's kick his ass. Oh boy, he hits hard. We hit harder, though. I'm gonna insist on playing along this time. To all of my children, the times of your judgment. Again, look how they're festooned, they're beset with technology. The technology of Allagan cruelty. Even this little guy. Wait, is this fight paced to the music? That's kind of amazing. Past its judgment, the song of the last Space lasers! Ah, we stand in here then. Yes. And there's the classic Nobuo Uematsu touch, which is to put a little bit of prog rock, like like that heavy like boom 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 drum set. And the abilities coming down in time with the music. Oh my god, this is so extra. I love it. Final coil of Bahamut complete. Well, there we go. Thanks to the party for not killing it too fast. Yes, thank you for holding off on it, so we could hear that that track and sort of get a sense of what it was like playing this early on. Very kind of you all.
You did it! But one task remains. With this last coil disabled, there shall be naught left to bind Bahamut to this world. His beloved children will finally know peace.
The two kids covering their eyes and Brick just like staring straight into the sun. My beloved himbo.
'Tis done. He is truly gone. You knew, didn't you? You knew what Grandfather had become.
I was not certain, but from all I had gleaned, it seemed a distinct possibility.
Gee, that sounds like the sort of thing maybe, I don't know, you should tell your sister about, so like she could...
The scene people describe of the Battle of Carteneau was one of unimaginable devastation, and 'tis through the combined prayers of the desperate and an abundant source of ether that primals are born. I merely put two and two together.
And you consider that a sufficient explanation? Well, however you stumbled across your theory, 'twas this revelation that made you wary of my attachment to Grandfather. You feared that in my obsession, I would fall under his primal sway. Is that why you decided to join us? To pull me back should I show signs of wavering?
Pray forgive me, sister. I wished only to protect you. Yet I see now that I needn't have doubted the strength of your conviction.
Talk to your sister, you dumbass!
May I ask you a question? What do you now intend to do with the truth you have uncovered?
Which particular truth was that, brother? The fact that desperate prayer gave rise to the primal phoenix? That this new god was responsible for setting Eorzea on the path to rebirth? Should such a tale become common knowledge, people would soon offer up their prayers in earnest. They would beseech Phoenix to complete the healing that was begun.
Yet as you and I know all too well, the very act of calling forth this savior would do more harm to the land than good. We cannot encourage such worship for this very reason. Were Grandfather forced to return as an ether-draining primal, it would undo all that he had worked to protect. Your abiding love for him was the key that unlocked the truth of the calamity. But keys may also serve to seal doors that were best left unopened. Let your love now guide your actions, and lock away deep inside the fate of both Grandfather and Bahamut.
Yeah, repress your feelings. Push them down.
Fear not, Alphinaud. I understand what must be done. The realm need not know the truth for it to be saved. That the Elder Primal is banished, to return no more. That is enough. Let us make our way back to the surface. Poor Oriange must be beside himself with worry.
And here we are again. After that descent into darkness, the desolation of northern Thanalan seems paradisial. As promised, I shan't reveal the truth of the calamity to a single soul. However, the nations of Eorzea will require certain assurances that the threat of a new primal is gone. Kept in the dark over long, it's just only a matter of time before they seek answers of their own accord. Let us recommend that the fragments of Bahamut are sealed off, that the truth may rest undisturbed. But first, we must go and report to Urianger. It would not do to keep him in suspense. I dare say we shall find him pacing up and down to the cerulean processing plant.
To the processing plant, then. Wait a minute.
In spite of your presence, I must confess that there were moments when I feared the worst. But in the end, you plucked us from the flames and bore us safe onto victory, just as you always have. As for Alice, I've never been more proud to call her my sister.
Maybe this wouldn't have happened if you just called her more often in general. But yeah, as Bloodleaf says in chat, as others have pointed out, Alphinaud is just a teenager who thinks he's the smartest kid in the room. And yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad character when I'm yelling at him. Like, I'm not saying that he's poorly written or anything. I'm saying, talk to your sister, you stupid dumbass. I'm engaging with the character. I'm not degrading it.
Ah, the warrior of light returneth undimmed from the depths of darkness. By thy triumphant bearing, I take it thou hast succeeded in thy mission, and yet thou art alone. Mistake me not, dear friend, I am full glad I am of thy safe return, but where, pray, are Master Alphinaud and Mistress Alice?
Can you guys not teleport? Is that just... Okay.
Here, my friend. Forgive us our lateness. We took the scenic route. Bahamut is no more. The realm is safe.
By the heavens, look at you! What horrors your young eyes must have seen. What suffering your young bodies must have borne. Pray tell me, where are you hurt? Your wounds must needs be cleansed and dressed at once. I shall make for you a poultice which throweth out...
Be at ease, my friend. We are hale and whole, I assure you. We took a few tumbles, but the worst of our hurts are healed. I believe we have grandfather to thank for that.
Master Louisoix, then you met with him once more. But wherefore should Bahamut's thralls seek to ease your suffering?
I promise to reveal all to you in due course, dear friend. But first, there's a matter which requires our immediate attention. Now that Bahamut is defeated, we deem it best to bar entry to all of the fragments of Dalamud. To this end, we will convince the nation's leaders that the danger is past and invite their cooperation in ensuring that the fragments are never again disturbed. Come, let us depart and seek an audience with them forthwith.
You might want to change into some new clothes. You know.
A moment, sister. You need not burden yourself with this task. Urianger and I will more than suffice. Might you not take this opportunity to rest? The gods know you have earned it. But I'm fine, brother. Besides, you've been through as much as I have. Oh, I see now. You would play your game of diplomacy and wish me out of the way.
No, naught could be further from the truth, Alice.
My lady, 'tis mine earnest belief that your brother hath your best interests at heart. You have more than done your part, and he desireth but to relieve you of a burden he might easily bear alone.
I have some experience treating with dignitaries, you must allow, and as you never fail to remind me of my fondness for diplomacy, I feel it only right that I remind you of your aversion to it. Then it is settled. Urianger, pray make arrangements for a chocobo carriage. The ride should give us ample time to prepare our story. Alphinaud. Though our paths are different, we share the same goal, do we not? But of course, dear sister, that which we have achieved together stands as a testament to that fact. Whatever path we choose to take, our hearts shall ever lead us to the same end, of that I'm certain. Thank you.
Do y'all want to hug at some point? Tell each other you love each other? I don't know. Okay.
I'm not their therapist. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
There's a place that I would visit. Might I ask you to accompany me? But first, I do believe a change of garments is in order. I won't take but a moment. The landscape is the same. Of course, there's no reason that it would be otherwise. Though it would be poetic for the fragments to magically disappear, I'm well aware they shall remain long after you and I are gone.
And that's when two children stumble into the fragments of Bahamut and unleash Bahamut once more.
The world may change irrevocably, but life shall ever go on. Let us take a closer look, shall we? I have no doubt that Alphinaud will do an admirable job concealing the truth of the calamity. And such truths as were revealed in those dark depths will never see the light of day. I myself agreed that it must be so. But the thought that the people of Eorzea shall forever remain ignorant of their savior, of your deeds, the injustice of it is almost too much for me to bear.
I don't know, I feel like Brick is probably pretty famous, like being the warrior of light and all, probably reasonably famous already. Like, maybe that's okay.
How typical of you, Brick. Ever the hero. Even so, I can't deny that I feel better for your reassurance. But I want you to know that I will never forget. You are the one who freed Grandfather's soul and saved Eorzea from Bahamut's wrath. And though these great deeds will never be remembered in song, their consequences will be felt forevermore by every soul who calls this realm home. Yes, this spot will do. For Grandfather, Nail, and the dragons of Mericidia, for all those who were taken by the calamity. At long last, our struggle with Bahamut is over.
And 1.0 can finally be put to bed.
The realm, given new life through the prayers and sacrifices of countless souls, may look to a brighter tomorrow. When the dust of our adventure has settled, I shall embark on a journey. I mean to find my own reason to fight for Eorzea. And when I do, I will fight with all my being.
You could also just do something else with your life, you know. Become an author, raise cattle, weave things, build stuff. I don't know, to get into woodworking, get really into woodworking or something. You know, like there's other options. You don't have to spend your entire life as a child soldier, but okay.
You've done so much for me, Brick. One day I hope to be able to repay you in kind. I have no doubt that you will continue to help those in need, and grow ever stronger in so doing. I shall endeavor to do the same, and if the 12 are kind, I hope one day to become Eorzea's sword in the darkness, as you are.
Yeah, but like also, seriously, like model train sets. you model train, you could build them, and you could, like, huge and cool, and like people will pay to come and see that. Like you can make a whole career out of it. Like I know you guys don't have YouTube, but you know, like if you did, like, okay, fine.
Come what may, you may rest assured that I will not be outdone by Alphinaud.
Yeah, that's healthy.
When next we meet, I promise that I will not disappoint you. Till that day, fare you well, my friend, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Please get a hobby. Please. Brick sending like her letters like every 2 months. Like, what about ships and bottles? Ships and bottles seem cool. You could do ships and bottles. You motherfucker, she did it again. Oh my god, it's the end of Evangelion. Oh no. Congratulations, congratulations. Oh god, oh no, I'm being confronted with all of my innermost emotional insecurities. Thank you all, thank you. Thank you all very much. Oh, good lord. And that, I think, is probably a good place to cut this particular episode of Final Fantasy XIV. With this ridiculous circus and carnival. Like, Alphinaud and Elise may not be my circus or my monkeys, but these people clearly are. So if you've enjoyed hanging out in the world of Final Fantasy XIV with me, you can hit the like, comment, and or subscribe buttons down below, and that'll let you know when more episodes of the thing are coming out as the claps continue. And if you want to see episodes early, you can become a member of the channel. That'll give you early access to... Well, give you early access to episodes early, before the early. And if you want to see these things recorded live and watch my audience troll the shit out of me, you can head on over to twitch.tv/tvskyn, where these episodes are recorded whenever I have time to do it. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to wear a mask, wash your hands, and good lord, take your vaccines. And try to act with solidarity towards those who are worse off than yourselves.